we were discussed about arguments. How
Yeah, Mohan. I will keep on watching
yeah,
today
so
only. Okay, fine. If I
so
have any
today,
doubt, I'll get back to you. Yeah.
sure, definitely. Okay,
Sure.
today we are going to talk about control flow. Is very very important concept in UiPath. Not only UiPath, wherever we go, right? So irrespective of the UiPath tool, so whatever any automation tool, if you go, so make sure that we are going to use this control flow activities. So basically, why we require control flow. Control flow is nothing but we just want to control on the workflow because you are trying to scrap. You have, let's say example on the web page you have thousands of records, but I want to extract only top 20 or top 30. I just want to control on my workflow to extracting the data from the screen, right? So where we it is going to be supposed to be helpful control for activities for that to achieve those activities. I mean those type of scenarios. A proper control flow can be achieved through the variables and certain activities. How we are going to achieve the control flow? So based on the variables, and we have pretty enough, activities are available from UiPath, so where we can achieve the control flow mechanism. These activities can be found under workflow. Inside the workflow, we have a sub-control called control flow. Inside the control flow, we have all the control flow activities. Let's go back to the UiPath Studio. Let me create a new project. Control flow demo. All the activities are under inside the workflow. So inside the workflow, we have control flow. Inside that, we have all activities. Here we go. So we are going to discuss the important control flow activities from this. The first and foremost thing is assign activity. It's one of the global activity which we have discussed already, right? So assign activity is used to assign value to a variable. If we want to, we have seen a couple of examples how we have to assign a value to particular variable. So if you want to override, you know how to declare the default initialization to particular variable, as well as if you want to override the initialized variable, to make sure that we can go and can use the assign activity where we can reassign the values to particular variable. So if we want to increment or decrement to particular, so what I'm trying to say, we don't have any increment and decrement operator here, plus plus and minus minus. You might have know this one, right? So increment operator nothing but plus plus, decrement operator nothing but minus minus. We don't have. So if we want to perform those type of operations, so make sure that we have to use assign activity where we have to increment the operator. That also we have seen long back. And if you want to sum up two or more variables, that means that if you want to do any arithmetic operations or if you want to do any link queue queries, so make sure that we are going to write all those operations inside the assign activity. So if you want to assign one result set to another result set, so obviously which is going supposed to be do with the help of assign activity. I want to give an example for this. We have seen a couple of examples for that. So we'll see more examples in upcoming session for the assign also. The next important concept is called the delay activity. Delay is actually very, very important in real time. So why we need delay activities? Delay activities enable to pulse the workflow for a custom period of time. I just want to pulse it. It means that you're trying to get extraction data from the web page. If it is a Windows application, your page is going to be quickly loaded. But if it's a web application, what will happen? It's going to take some time to load the page, right? So by the time what will happen, we are going to give some time delay activity. I'm just giving for 3 seconds or 2 seconds until or unless the pages get loaded. If it is get fully loaded, so what will happen? Then only the control is going to be visible to the bot, right? Then only I can go to the particular control. From the control, I can able to access the data. So in this situation, right, you can use a delay. I can delay is nothing but which is going to delay for a moment of time. So whatever the mentioned time, right, the default format would be like this: hours, minutes, and seconds. If you give some time like this, hours, minutes, and seconds, so suppose if you give 000003, what will happen? Even the page is loaded or not, irrespective of that, I mean, bot is going to be first mode. You will see an example here. Let me quickly create one sequence. So delay demo. Okay. So very simple. I'm just trying to print some value. Delay started. I'm just giving something called here duration. What is the format? Hours, minutes, and seconds. Let's wait for 10 seconds here. So I just given delay is an activity which is going to pass my bot. Okay, quickly run this. My bot runner got started here. See, it is pausing for a moment of time, right? Yeah. If you see the output, see here, delay started, and see the how many seconds it's got executed here. So we have given 10 seconds. So obviously, what will happen? My bot got got started, and it has taken almost 10 seconds to wait, and no performance, and no operations in between started and delay completed. So this is how delay is not going to be work, but pretty much careful when you're using delay, right? So what will happen? So it is not bother about like a page is got loaded or not. Even it is going to wait for 10 seconds and simply it is going to push it to the particular web page or Windows application where it is going to try the UI element. If UI element is not found by the moment, obviously it's just going to throw an exception called UI element not found. So next important thing is called if activity. So if you might know pretty much well about if, right? If is one of the conditional control statements. If it contains a statement, so based on the two conditions, either true or false. See, I just want to check one condition. So based on the condition, I want to evaluate whether if it is condition is true, I want to perform some actions. If condition is false, I want to perform some actions. So let's quickly go back to the UiPath tutorial and let's create one sequence called if demo. Okay, let us create one small example for if condition, right? Let us check the given number is even number or not. So for that one, right, let us create one variable first, int number. So what is this? This is should be an integer, right? And let us read data from the user. How we are going to do input dialog, right? Input dialog. So this is title and enter number. So whatever the number, so which we are retrieving from the user, that I'm going to push it into integer number. This is called the output result content. So whatever the reading data from the user, that is called output. That output I'm going to store it into int number variable. Now logic is going to start now. So what is this? See here, when you drag and drop if activity here, obviously what will happen, so which is going to be displayed like this: condition, then else. That means that if condition is true, then it's going to be execute. If condition is false, else is going to be execute here. Now, how I am going to check the condition? So what is very simple, int number. So models 2. So we don't have mod operator here. Mod 2 equals to 0. And obviously what will happen, the given number is called is the given number is even. The next thing is, if it is false, given number is odd. That's it. So I'm just reading some data from the user. So dynamically I'm reading data from the user. So based on the number, right? So based on the user, I'm evaluating the given number is even or not. Quickly save this and run it. Here I'm just reading 5. I click OK, and this should be given number is odd, and I'm just running again. I'm just reading 6. This should be an even, right? So I'm just a condition. Obviously the given number is even. So same program, if you do it in flowchart, let us see one example how we are going to do this. Even or odd demo. So it's the same thing. The first part is called declaring the variable here. So this is an integer, and let's read this input dialog. Just leave it, drag and leave it here. So automatically link is established between this start and first node. So what is this? This is even or so quickly I just added input dialog, and for this whatever the read values from user, I'm just assigned to integer number. And what is the next step? Here no need to use if condition here. I'm going to use the flow decision control activity. So here I just want to check the condition. So what is the condition? Int number, so mark2 equals to 0. Click OK. If condition is true, then what will happen? If condition is true, and just drag and drop two control here. Either you can use the white line or log message. At time being, I'm using white line. It's even. The condition is false. It's so this is how a small flowchart would be looking like this for evaluating if conditions. Not only if condition, whatever the condition, if you want to evaluate conditions, so we need only decision symbols, decision activity. So by using decision activity, I can able to evaluate, I can able to get the condition and quickly and come back from this flowchart.
Aman, one question.
Yeah.
The same the same thing you written in the previous file, right?
Yeah.
So what is the difference between creating the sequence and workflow?
Yes. So here, right, I have created simple. I have used here if activity. Here, right, I'm just check condition like if condition is true, and this is true condition and false condition. But here, right, one thing, I cannot go back to the previous stage, right? How can I go back to again if I want to see? I want to perform an operation until or unless the given number is even. How we are going to do that? So it's very simple. If it is even, right, so what I want to do, I want to, okay, the given number is far up to odd, I want to perform this operation. If the given number is even, again it is going to repeat the same. If given number is odd, it is coming outside of this one. But can we do the same operation here? We cannot go back to the previous state. I cannot go back to the previous state, correct?
So it's kind of one way flow.
It can be done so by using the sequence. But if you could see here in this flowchart, right, why I'm just explaining flowchart also here, so I can able to read my flowchart clearly, as well as I can come back to the previous state. I can, so it's like a user friendly. Even right tomorrow, right, one person is for maintenance phase, he also can be understand this flowchart easily. So my intention is, my suggestion is here. So instead of using sequences, so use more flowcharts for better understanding, and we can easily fix the bugs as well. If you write the keep on sequences, what will happen? Your workflow is keep on going to increase and very difficult to debug the issues if you get it.
Okay.
You bring it?
Yeah. So anything we develop, anything we design, it is better to start and end with the flowchart.
Flowchart, yes.
Okay.
You can easily read right here and simply reading. And this is what I'm basically input. If this is a small one, if in real time, right, your flowchart would be like big lengthy. So where if you read it right, so by using the flowchart, inside the flowchart you can add, if it is a small operations, right, we can add sequences here. Let's say example the login sequence. I'm starting login sequence. So inside the login sequence, you just add the multiple operations and come back to here. So and when I explain to your others, when I'm giving KT also, what will happen? I'm starting this sequence indicates reading the data from the user, and this will perform the login operations.
So one thing I heard in my office, they were talking about two types of bot. One is attended bot, and the other one is unattended bot. So this kind of scenario comes with the attended bot, right? So something we give and the bot will ask us the input, and once we input is given, then bot will keep going with the rest of the step.
See, attended and unattended is a different concept.
Okay.
So where it means that if you unattended is nothing but where user intervention is not required.
Okay.
But coming to this attended bot, right? So basically, where to kickstart the bot, user intervention is required. So very simple.
Okay.
Here, the call center would be like this, right? If you call to the particular to respect to the, let's say example, if you are a Airtel customer, so if you want to change your, if you want to have some inquiry, okay, on that you
Mm.
are called to particular call center, what will happen? So they want to verify your is the correct authorized person or not, correct?
Mm.
So in this case, right? So they have desired applications. So they have automated actually. So from there, right, they kickstart the bot. After entering your details, they are going to kickstart the bot. After
Mm.
what will happen? After a fraction of seconds, right, the bot is going to pick all your details and it's going to show it in front of the BPO wise sector. So in this case, right, where user information is required to kickstart the bot to retrieve the information. After that, the bot is going to stop. But here, unattended bot is very simple, where we don't require. What I'm trying to
Yeah,
say,
unattended. Yeah, unattended bot clear. End to end, it will take care. We never
it will take
interfere
care
with the
because
bot.
I'm going to schedule it. Even we don't require to kickstart the bot. Also, I'm going to schedule it, which is going to take the input from somewhere. It's going to perform operations and it's going to send it. That is what it's going to take care. Attended bot is nothing but where user information is required to kickstart the bot and kickstart. I mean, obviously, what will happen? So this is example where they are using attended bots, especially in call centers, right? So they're using attended bots. So this for
So
some
now,
time, right?
so now,
So
as far as this program, you provide the input, right? If you don't, if you cannot provide the input, definitely the bot will not move on the next step.
yeah, we
So
can
can
say
I
this is on
consider
a
this as an
yeah,
attended bot?
attended bot. Yes, exactly. But in real
Okay,
time,
okay,
so yeah, obviously, so this example is pretty much suitable for attended bots.
okay, okay.
Fine. So any more queries here?
No more.
Yeah, cool. So we have two types of conditional control activities in UiPath. The one is if and second one is, and if you want to write, we don't have if else later here. So if else is nothing but what? If you want to check the condition, like again here, right? I have checked only if and then I'm just checking here. If it is condition is true, I'm just going to the true, and if this is false, I'm going to this area. Again, I want to check if else. Okay, again here, right? Obviously, what will happen? You just drag and drop the if else if condition again here. That's all. So this is how we have to check if else. Inside this also you can drag and drop if else, if else. So like this, you can check a number of conditions. So from if. So this is called nested if. We used to call it as nested if conditions. Now, so one of the important thing is here switch activity. Switch is also one of the conditional statement. Okay. So which is going to be used, right, to check multiple options based on the specific expression. If you could see, like, if you want to check 50 conditions, obviously what will happen if you go with if else, where we have to write 50
More,
if else.
more,
Yeah.
more, 1 minute. Can you go back once again the nested if condition? So in general, if you want to give multiple choices, if this do this, okay, and
Mm.
else if this do this, else if this do this, else if this do this, else finally this. That is what the logic, right? We write.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The similar way, how do you define here? First, if
If
zero, then
conditions.
even or okay.
Yeah. So this,
Now,
yes.
mm,
So okay. Now if you want to
okay,
check one more condition, if it is true, again I just want to condition check.
okay,
where you're going to check here. I'm going to check condition here. Again, you got my point? Thank you.
Okay, so in the yes column, you put one more if, huh?
If, yeah.
Okay.
So like this, you can, if you want to put again one more if condition here, you can put it instead of this one. So like this, your if is keep on going.
Okay.
Now I'm go back to the switch activity. So the important concept. So normally I'll just give the example. If you want to check 50 conditions, so what will happen by using if condition is true, then if condition is true, we have to perform these operations, right? Let's say example, your condition may be satisfied in 55th, 45th condition. So what will happen? Robo is going to be sequentially perform. No, I mean to say that if condition one true or false, condition two true or false, like that, you'll keep on checking up to 45th conditions. But coming to the switch activities, right, where I have defined these expressions like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, so on. The expression is 5, so obviously bot is going to the expression 5 is exist or not. If this 5 is exist, then simply it is go there and perform the operations, come back to that. So this is how switch activity is going to work. This activity supports multiple types of arguments. The expression may be any type of argument. That means that if it is integer argument or a string argument or array, even the more complex ones such as called data table also, we can pass it as one expression instead of the switch activity. So by default, switch uses integer arguments. Let's flip to the UiPath Studio and let's create one example. I'm just creating a sequence here. So switch demo. Fine. Now, so very simple. Just drag and drop the switch. So this is nothing but control flow. So this is a switch. So by default, the expression, if you push the properties of this one, right? So by default, the type of argument or expressions would be a integer. Now, see here, and this is the default. So by default, switch come up with one case and default. This is just an example, case 1, and just enter. Inside the case 1, right, you can add the sequence or add a number of activities here. So what is this? This is case 1. If you want to add case, a number of cases, click on case and enter. So obviously what will happen, you can add, keep on, enter the n number of cases I can add here, case 2. So if you want to add the default one also, so click on the default one, so drag and drop default one. If no matches in my switch case conditions, right, but default one is going to be executed. Now just pass 1 here. So let us see what is going to be executed. So this 1 is why I'm passing 1 here. So my argument or expression would be like integer here. If you want to change, right, expression, yes, I can change the expression by selecting different types of data types here. Quickly save this and run it. See, we have passed 1, right? So obviously what will happen, which is going to execute one statement here, one case. Here this is a 1, right? So case 1, what I have written, I just written inside of this one right line, I just simply written like my case 1 is going to execute. So just pass it here, just I'm passing 10. obviously what will happen, which is going to fetch 10 is exist in this or not. If 10 is not exist, which is going to throw
Default one.
exactly right. So it is going to throw the default one. Since that there is no 10 expression in my thing, obviously default one is going to be executed here. So
So
here I
value
just
here, you hardcode the value here, right?
yes, this one right?
So
Yeah,
yes, no, the expression. Instead,
yeah.
if you want to pick the value from somewhere in the file or through variable, that variable I defined in one file in one location. Whenever I need and go and just update the value alone in the file. So this bot will go and open the file in location and pick the value of the variable and supply it here to run the switch.
That's all. So we are going to use the variable concepts over there. Declare one variable and just
Okay.
assign to the particular variable to dynamic values. That dynamic in the variable should be passed here.
Mm.
So I'm just going to give one assignment here now. Okay. So you define one switch case. The
Mm.
switch should perform some multiple operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So that time, right, your expression should be a type of what is this? A type of string. If you pass it as here, right, it's a type of string. Obviously, what will happen, which is going to you have to pass like this. If it is add, okay, like this. You have to perform all your add operations here. If it is a subtraction, right, you have to perform create one more case here, perform add subtraction. Here, right, so very simple. You have to create. This is nothing but common component. Understand my assignment now. You are going to create one switch. I mean, you are going to create one common component where which is going to perform multiple operations and where which is going to act, which is going to accept. So what type of operation you are performing, and to perform addition arithmetic operations, you make sure that how many variables you require. I need two variables, obviously, right? Which is input of two variables and output is one more three variables you have to be right. So I am the person, and if we want to access no addition of two numbers, I'm going to invoke this workflow. I mean to say the switch demo or component demo, but I'm going to pass my expression, my input value like input values A and B, and finally I want to pass an output argument also where I have to get no output value of the addition of two numbers. You got my point here? Small assignment. We just do just you have to do this. Create one common component which contains more than one operations. But see, so anyone can access this. Addition person also can access this. Multiplication person also can access this. Division person also can access this. And so all the operations can be accessed by this common component by passing different types of in and out arguments. Finally, so this a common component perform the operations, and finally, this should throw the output of the desired expression. If it is expression is add, I want to perform addition. If it is expression is like subtraction, I want to perform subtractions like this. Any queries about this assignment? There where we have to create more than one file and XAML. That means that in I mean the addition or subtraction, multiplication, division. So where you can create a 4 XAMLs if you want, or else you create one XAML. From there you can pass different types of expression and get it done. Any queries on the assignment?
No more.
Yeah. So please tomorrow while you're coming, right, you have to be um, showcase that to me. Fine. Let's move on to the So one of the important concepts called while activity. So far we have seen just condition. I'm checking condition, I'm just coming outside. So this is nothing but conditional control statement. I want to check condition as well as I want to perform some controls on the what I'm trying to say particular operations. So which is going to execute specific process repeatedly. If I want to process, see, I want to extract some data from the user line by line. Okay, I have 10 rows in from my, what I'm trying to say on the screen. I want to extract 10 rows. So what will happen? First row I'm extracting. Second row, so obviously what will happen? Your bot should run for second row as well, right? So I want to perform, the conditional control operations until or unless some condition has to met. So let's quickly see some small example for this while and do while. Flip to the UiPath Studio. I'm creating while demo. Okay. So let us create one array. I want to perform sum of array numbers. Okay. So I want to perform sum of array. How we are going to do here? I'm just creating one array here. Array. So this is how we will get array variable. So array of t, this should be an integer, right? Click OK. And here I have defined the values. How we have to initialize the values? Now my array is 5. So what I want to do, I want to while. So this is simply like this. So how while activities would be looking like this. So the condition and the body. So what is the condition here? Int array or so declare one int counter. So this is integer. This should be while demo, and let us initialize it 0. So int counter should be less than, always, right? Int array dot length. Understand here, very simple condition I'm just writing. So assign activity. So I'm declaring one more variable in sum. This should be an integer. So int sum equals to int sum plus, what is this? Int array of int counter. This one I just want to convert into integer, so I'm just clicking OK. It's a very simple condition I have written here. So I just want to perform operation sum of my what is this sum of array. So declare the default int sum also 0. So int sum equals to 0 plus the first location. So what is this here? Array of so array always start with 0 index, right? Array if I'm passing the index. So what is the index here? The counter is an index. So what is this? 0. 0 is going to pass it here, which is going to return the first 0th location value, and this is going to add it to your sum. Okay. After this, so what we have to do, I have to use one more. Okay. Assign. So what is assign? This assign will do. The counter is going to be increment by 1. So int counter plus 1. Simply I have written like this. After performing this operations, let's come outside of this. I want to display sum of array. How we are going to display sum of array? So what is this? Int sum dot. Very simple here. I just counter the int counter should be less than the array dot length. What is the array dot length here? Which is going to return the 5, right? So my how many what I'm trying to say here. See, what is the length of array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to see that also, print before you start length of array dot length dot toString.
When this array will start 0, right? 0 to, if you have a 5, then the length will be 4, right?
Yes. No, the length would be 5, but it's going to start, the index is going to start with 0 to 4.
0. Okay.
Quickly run this and see what will happen. Here we go. The length of array is 5, sum of array is 15. 15 correct, right? 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 1, 15. So correct. Sum of array is 15. So the length of array is 5, correct, but the array index starts with 0. So that is what simply I have created one logic here, int counter. So if int counter is 0, 0 less than 5, and this is true, so until around this 5 less than 5, it become 5 less than 5, condition is going to be failed, so it is going to come outside from the diff. So here conditional control, I'm just repeating from few operations repeatedly until around this some condition has to be satisfied. If condition is false, obviously it is going to come outside of this one. So here we have to write always true condition. If condition is false, we are coming outside of this. Here the difference is between, yeah.
Can you show me that int sum expression tab? Okay, so the int sum you already it's a variable you defined with the integer, right? Was not?
Yes.
So already defined as a integer, then why we have to convert to integer?
So this is here an int array, right?
Yeah.
Int array. So this one, so make sure that int array I'm just converting into again integer for appending to this and I'm going to push it to here, right? 1 second, I'll put it in this way. Once we retrieve the data from this, I clearly told, right, how to extract the this is also which is going to work, I think. Yes. So this is how, this is another way. I mean, without converting into integer, right? So I was trying to convert into true string. So while converting true string, right? Obviously, what will happen? The expression should be again converted into two integer. You got Venkat?
Yeah. So instead of converting all this stuff inside, straight away we can give how do we give in the normal programming language, right? I mean coding
Yeah, this is
language.
the normal. This is a normal I have
Yeah.
given simply. So both are integer. So I just give an integer, and this is also integer. I'm passing the index. So obviously, what will happen? Which is going to return the value and it's going to put. If you want to print this one on one control, I mean right line, right? So where we can use the dot posting concept.
ToString.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not.
here.
I'm just doing only arithmetic operations.
Okay.
Here, right?
Okay.
So as this is no do while operation. So while condition. So I'm just checking the condition is true. Then all I'm going inside. But coming to do while, we have a do while activity. So what will happen? So let's simply drag and drop the do while here. The same program. Let us do with this. So basically, right? Here. So what I'm doing, trying to do again. So what we have to do here, the do while is going to execute the body first of all, then condition. Finally, the condition is true, then only which is going to repeat it. Otherwise, so what will happen? Which is going to come out of this.
So the expression to change.
Yeah. So what expression you asking me to change?
It's less than, greater than something.
Okay, let it be. I want to perform the condition is true, and here the condition is true. Obviously, what will happen is it's going to keep on repeating. So before this one, right? So int sum should be. I want to reassign. How to reassign this? By using the here. Already int sum value what is this? And int sum would be 15, right? This should be again assigned to 0. As well as we have counter also, right? Counter should be reassigned to this. This should be also.
Okay,
Now
you reset.
I'm just resetting the operations.
Okay.
Otherwise, what will happen? So which is going to here it will going to throw an exception, right? Array index out
Yeah.
of range exception.
Yeah.
That is what I'm just reassigning this. And quickly run this.
Okay.
So in the do while, did you change anything in the expression part?
No, I did not change. Here, I forgot to write line concept after performing operation so that it was shown only single level set, right? Now, if you could see,
Did it perform the do while in the before
Yeah,
execution?
it's performed actually, but what will happen? I didn't print right. We did not print that value. Here only I have printed. So right line should be here, right? After performing the
Do while right line.
so this and here we go. See sum of array. This is nothing but from the while operation, and this is do while operation. This is basic stuff I'm just explaining. We'll see more examples in
But
we're trying to
one
extract
thing,
data from the
Varun, do while so until the condition meets false, it keep executing. Similarly, wow, the first one is while do. The do while is until the condition comes to success, it will keep running, right? It will keep
yeah.
iterating, right?
Condition is true, repeating. Condition is true, repeating. Condition is false. Obviously this is going to throw outside. So always you
That
have
is
to give two
that is while
conditions
do.
in this.
You're telling about while do.
So both while and do while.
So
Condition should
both does
always
the
be. Mhm.
no both does the same. Both does the same characteristics, huh?
Yeah, characteristic. But here the way of execution is different. Here itself I'm just checking the condition first initially. While the condition is true, then only I'm just going to perform the operation. But here it is going to perform at least once inside of the body. Here
Okay. No,
without
it will
checking
first
condition.
execute the first iteration and then it will
First
check.
iteration, then condition the check the condition.
Okay,
That
okay,
is the
okay.
difference between while and do while, basically.
Okay. Okay. Other one is there, right? If condition is false only, it will execute until the condition come to true. That is until, huh?
Oh, I think we do not have it. We have while, do while, and for.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Until.
I'm checking. I'm just going to create a new sequence called for
Mohan,
demo.
Bala.
Yeah, but
Hello.
yeah,
Yeah,
Bala,
one
please.
second. Yeah, can you click while demo? One second.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'm just clicking on the while demo.
okay.
Tell me, Bala, where should I go?
Oh, one second, one second. On top of it. Can you come a little bit below? Scroll down. Okay, Mohan. Thank you. Mohan, I'm fine.
Yeah, good. So
Yeah.
let me create the last demo for coming today. So this is for and will complete the control flow activities. So for is nothing but what? So for is it's going to repeat it. I want to perform repeated steps like from the arrays or list or data table to other collections. We want to step by step operations like first second, third, fourth, until or unless the things that here. Um, okay. Let's quickly see one example. So for better understanding here, let me create for demo, right? What happened here? Let's create one array here. I want to display values from the array. How we are going to display values from array? So int array. So this is going to be now integer. Sorry. Yeah. And declare some values here. Now length is 5. Now for. So for is going to is one of the conditional control statement. For each. So what will happen? Here we have type it for right, which is going to display. We have for each and for each row. So what is this for each row? Already we have seen this for each row in data table concept, right? So this is only designed for each row, but here for each will execute both data table as well as collections, all those things here. And I have declared what is that? I have declared one array, right? What is the array here? I want to display all the values from the array. I want to display all the values from the array. So what is here? Int array, okay, and simply right line the concept. And, okay. I'm just writing the item. Save this and quickly run it, which is going to display values from the array. Here we go. So what is going to display here? 1, 4, 2, 3. Here the what will happen? It is like a threading. Inside the threading concept is going to be executed here. Sometimes we are getting the in parallel values here. So for that, I want to restrict this one. How we are going to restrict this? I want to perform display one by one values. So how we are going to do here? Delay concept is going to use here and display the first value. After this, I just want to some time. I just give 1 second time and save this and run it. Now if you could see, which is going to print the first value and take some time, then second value, so it will take some time. So like this until or unless items got freezed from the array. Now if you could see here, I can see the parallel from, exactly the sequential steps got executed here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're not using this delay, right, what will happen? So it is executed and it is going to print as early as possible. So this is how for each, for each is going to be work. What is a for each? For each is going to it is it is going to perform the operation until or unless which is reach to the end of the array value. See, this is type of argument is object here now. Now if you want to change the type of objects also, I can change it based on the passing different types of data types here. So we have
one question. So as far as this flow, how many variables you define? One is array, other one is item, right?
No. Item is defaultly we come up with for each. Here I'm not defining here. I have declared only one variable called array. So when you drag and drop for each, automatically what will happen? Which is going to come up with one item. So item is what? So which is going to retrieve the first value, which is going to store it into the item variable here. Here item is not going to declare separately.
Along with the function.
Yes, even also for each also, right? For each also it has come up in the same, right? I mean, for each row. In Daredevil, we are
So,
discussing Daredevil example. There also it has come up with the item.
okay, here in array variable you defined with the array type or just integer type?
Which one?
In array variable,
Ah,
if you open the variable part, you'll come to know.
yeah, it
So
is
the
integer.
variable type is integer, right?
Yeah.
So integer, but you didn't define it as an array, right? Integer
See,
can
array, it's I depend I like no type of argument object. So this is an object only, right? Int array is an object which is holding the
okay.
multiple values.
Okay, is it possible? Because if you want to store one value on a variable, it's an
Mhm.
integer. So multiple value, it has to defined as the array variable type, right?
No, a variable type is what type of array or type of argument. So this is one integer type object. That's all.
So can it store multiple value?
Yes, that's all. See, this is an object. Object all obviously will contain multiple values only, right? Objects. So
Okay. So
here, integer array is one array which is having different types of values. This one I'm passing as an argument called object type.
okay.
You got it, Kala? I'm doing it. Very simple here. So based on this, it is going to take the value and it's going to print it here. Clear or still doubt?
No, still a doubt.
Very simple. See here. See, this is one object or not, first of all. You have to understand this is one object. So this is array
Okay.
string array object. Correct.
Okay. Now, how do you say it is array object? Because if I
Yeah.
want to define one for
This is array only, right? Integer 33 is an array. So
okay,
this is
here you
array
define
object.
the system. Here you define system. So just go back to the variable type once and use the drop down variable type here in the
Here, right?
variable argument. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just okay. Here, if I don't use system int 32, I use only the int 32.
Mm-hmm.
Then can I store multiple values on this
No,
object?
it is not
That is
possible.
where I had a doubt. Okay, okay. So initially you selected system int 32, but
Mm-hmm.
again it is showing only int 32 in the front view of front view,
Okay,
right?
but it is showing different, right? It is showing the, I mean, brackets here. Now, if you know the differences, right? It was showing only
Okay,
in
okay.
32. Now it is showing this is array.
Okay, okay, okay. So array to
Clear,
be
right?
defined with system in 32.
Yeah, not
Okay.
system in 32. This is arrays differently, if it is an int 32, I'm going to select the int 32 here. Or else, if you want to select array, how you are going to select array of t. So in the array of t, if it is integer type, I can declare integer. If it is string type, you can declare like this. Now this is integer type. I have declared like this. So obviously, what will happen? System.interview will come to the picture. So when I come outside, so if you click now, simply it is going to show int 32 only of, but it is showing the bracket, nothing but it is array.
Okay, okay. Okay.
Clear, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, and one more thing, we have a break activity also. Break is used to, if you want to terminate the statements, that means that the break activity enable to stop the loop at a particular time. So, it's very simple. The break activity can only be used in for each activity only. So simply, I'm just coming here. I just want to check one condition. I see if even your array is 5 values, when I reach to uh, third, I mean to say that my variable is 3, I want to break my loop. How we are going to break it? If condition, I want to break this loop, and in between I want to break this loop. So what is this? Item equals to 3. So my item is equals to 3. Then what we have to do, I want to break my loop. How we have to break my loop? We have a break activity, just drag and drop here. So what will happen? It is going to display only 1, 2, 3. The condition is 3. I'm breaking this. Else I'm just keep on continuing this. Let's click this save and run it. See the output now. Here we go. So even my for each contains, right? What is my for each? For each will be no array, which is executing array list of elements, but elements is 5 in that. But the condition reaches to 3. I want to break this entire loop. How we are going to do this? I'm checking one condition. I'm breaking this operation. That's all. Any queries here?
Mohan Bala here.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, can you can you remove the tar to string, and can you assign simply 3 as a numeric value? I just want to see what is the message we are getting. Error
Okay,
message or
right?
something. Yeah. Okay.
Because item doesn't know item we are retrieving, but I don't know what type of we have to convert it. This object value, right?
So, but normally while in programming, if it is a integer type of array means whatever value if you are having, it will be an integer only, right? Uh,
Here, what is control? What is the type of argument of the my for each
for each is integer.
object?
Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, totally enter is okay.
Yes. So what will happen? The object value to make sure that we doesn't know what type of it is. So int to string and distribute double quotes. Then this is going to be
Okay.
anything else?
Still I have, yeah, still I have a doubt. Anyway, I will do this on my own, and if any doubt, I'll get back to you again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I think that's it for today. Do you have anything else? So I just completed the basics of the all the things from tomorrow onwards. So very important. We'll see like what basically UiPath.
Okay, fine.
What
I'm
basic?
going to start. Yeah. Please go ahead.
What is that basic? Tomorrow, what we are going to see?
UiPath basic.
What
Basic.
is
Okay.
basically right UiPath this? So far we have seen like how to declare a variable, how to navigate between the two XAMLs, how to work on the control flow, how to declare the variables, how to declare the data type. Some things only we have seen. Correct.
Yeah.
So now what I'm trying to say. Um, so we'll see like what basically UiPath does from tomorrow. Like what is the selector, what is the elements. So real things we'll see from tomorrow.
Okay.
After
Got it.
discussing the basics of the selectors, we'll automate one small application, Windows application, from where you'll be comfortable. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Mohan, tomorrow what time the class is? The same
Same
time or?
time,
Same time.
6 to will, but we'll continue more. I mean, it will take 6 to 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Will take 2 hours.
Can we start a little bit later? Mohan.
Actually, I have to go to offline class also. That is why.
Oh, yeah, work. Okay, fine.
Or else, if you want to tell me, we can connect evening.
Tomorrow,
Like that?
no. Tomorrow, I'm after 3. I'll be out of station, and it's this week alone. So next week, this week alone, it is good. I mean, better to have a class morning time. From next week, we can plan, if not possible, morning, evening, or some other time.
Definitely, I don't have.
Mm. Okay, Bala.
I think tomorrow we'll come the same time, so we'll explain to Bala for tomorrow
Okay.
alone.
Okay, okay, Manu.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye. Good
Thank
day.
you,
Bye.
thank you.